All right, good morning. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dowell. I know over this past weekend, we all, or some of us, was probably either looking at the highlights of the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight, which myself personally, it's an exhibition. All right, that's exactly what it is. It's an exhibition. But looking at the exhibition and stuff, and if you was going to grade it, I would have graded it in Tyson's favor. But that was not the fight of the night on the card. And before I go forward, the brethren and I, we were sitting there in the dining hall, and we were speaking about these fights, and of course one of the conversations came up is that can somebody, just because they're good in one sport, can they cross over into another? There's quite a few figures out there that we've known in history, at least our history, that actually played two sports. Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, just to name a few. Michael Jordan even tried it. But I was trying to tell a couple of brothers that it's one thing to chase a ball. It's another thing to get into the ring. All right? Out there in football and basketball, and I heard what Nate Robinson said. I went up against Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson and all. Yeah, but Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant is not in the hurt business, if you understand what I mean. And Shannon Sharp had probably the best commentary out of all of it. Listen, we've got to stop gassing these people up, and these people thinking that just because they were great in one sport, that they can go into a particular sport where people operate and live by inflicting pain. Listen, if you're on the basketball court, stay the hell on the basketball court, but don't bring your ass in the boxing ring. Now, we got a couple of brothers, including myself, in the ministry that are very, very familiar with boxing. I mean, we know boxing. Know boxing, done boxing, have been in boxing. And of course, now we're all amateurs. We never, ever had a professional card. But at the same time, it's just like when we saw some time ago. Y'all remember that internet sensation Kimbo Slice? Y'all remember him? He was knocking folks out on the streets and everything, and knocking people's eyes out of his socket and carrying on, and he would wear this big golden glove and stuff. That was on the streets. And I had then somebody ask me, Pastor Dowell, what do you think about that Kimbo Slice? I said, he's pretty good on the streets. He's pretty good on the street. I mean, really, he was really pretty good on the street. They said, so you don't think he would be good in the ring? No, not at all. The streets does not equate to the ring. When that bell rings, the only thing that referee is going to do is just give you a couple of, don't hit below the waist, don't hit behind the neck, no head butting, you know what I mean? He'll separate you if you're trying to lock up and wrestle. But other than that, this is an occupation in pain. And there are techniques to boxing. Just like playing basketball, there are techniques. And you just simply, I don't know what it is about these. I understand that people have testosterone and attitude and spirit and all this other stuff. But get it out of y'all damn heads that basketball, and because you were good at basketball, will make you an excellent boxer in the ring. I mean, how many times do we have to see this happen over and over and over again on the internet? Just because you are a good football player, it does not equate to the octagon and the ring. It just simply don't do it. Oh, mercy. What was that was said? I think, let me get it in my mind what was said. I heard somebody else say. But anyway, it'll come up. But listen to me. I'm not saying that men are men. They are men. But when you looked at Roy Jones Jr., and Mike Tyson. Okay, Mike Tyson and myself were pretty much about the similar height and similar size. Okay, I had Brother Kabir text me a message and said, "Would you get in the ring and fight Mike Tyson, Pastor?" I said, "Hell," I said, "Yeah, I'll fight him with a knife in my hand." He's a good guy. See, because I got some sense. Only way I'm gonna fight Mike Tyson is with a baseball bat and a knife in my hand. Now, I know boxing, but I am not a professional boxer like he is. And we just got finished seeing this Jake Paul. He is an internet guy, an amateur. He doesn't have his card. And Nate Robinson was, I think, a 3-time NBA dunk champion, and a pimp when talking crap. There's a lot of people out here know how to talk crap. But being an NBA dunk champion and playing in the NBA and playing against Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson and playing football in college or whatever it is, it does not equate to the ring. And we just got finished seeing it again. Listen, this was an amateur boxer, Jake Paul. And this was a professional basketball player. Is it making any sense to y'all right now? Is it making any sense whatsoever at all? And both of them were talking smack to each other and stuff. Nate Robinson the more so, because a lot of people think, I can't tell you about on the block how many people try to intimidate people with words and stuff. That ain't never worked with me. It ain't never worked with me. And it didn't work with Jake Paul either. He told him, he said, "Man, it's going to be a short fight. I'm going to knock you out." And he will go into talking crap. Listen, being a pimp and trash talking don't make you a champion in the ring. There's too many examples of it over and over again. And Shannon Sharp really truly tried to put a defibrillator on the people's minds and try to tell them, listen, stay in your lane, basically stay in your court. I mean, please, just don't, listen, these people live and deal in pain. You know how many times I've been hit right here? And how many times I've dished out some damn anvil blows? I mean, some serious blows. Now, I've never been knocked out, but I damn sure have been rocked. I've had my bell rocked. Woo-wee! Have I had my bell rocked. And I've knocked some people out, and I've knocked some, I hammer some serious bells and put some knots upside people's heads. But it's two different disciplines. It's two different things. Am I making any sense? So, if you notice, like I was trying to teach the brothers, I said when you look at mixed martial arts, okay, all of them may have different disciplines. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Hapkido, Taekwondo. You can go on with it. All different types of disciplines. Or if I'm a card marvel, they can have all of them and stuff, right? But when you notice when they all get into the ring, what's the first thing they start out on? They all start out on boxing. And sometimes they end up in wrestling. And then they're looking for submission moves and all kinds of stuff. That because they are experts in not just one discipline, 3 or 4 disciplines, but that doesn't make them an expert in boxing. Not making any sense. Henceforth, here we go again. Here's Conor McGregor, a damn good champion in the octagon. Damn good champion in the octagon. He thought that him being a champion in the octagon was going to be able to equate to him knocking out and beating Floyd Mayweather in a boxing ring under boxing rules. I shook my head. I shook my head again, and I shook it again, and I shook it again. It would have been the same result if Floyd Mayweather tried to go into an octagon with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor would either submit him or broke his arm or leg. One of the three he would have done. But when people are in certain disciplines, I don't know what makes people think just because you can throw hands that makes you a boxer or you are equated or I don't know, I guess, and like I said, street fighting, totally different. Kimbo Slice, champion on the street, got in the octagon and got his ass kicked all over the damn ring, numerous of times. But I had my friend old Pastor Joe Fox, man. Conor McGregor. I said, bro, you can forget it. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. And when we watched Floyd Mayweather toy around with this man, what, for 6-7 rounds before he put him to sleep? It's sad. Knocked him out. I don't know how people compute and calculate. I'm not saying that boxers are superior people by any stretch of imagination. But listen, this is like a boxer trying to go play NBA basketball. How well do you think that boxer's going to do? Or if he tries to go out there. Nate Robinson was out there trying to tackle him because he played football in college. He was trying to lead with his head and ended up being introduced to a 5-finger discount on 3 occasions, and one of them put him to sleep. I thought the man was hurt. I mean, legitimately hurt. Because, I mean, have you ever closed a steel door before? That's what it sounds like when somebody's fist hits you upside the head. It sounds like a real hard shut of a steel door. Boom! That's what it sounds like. I don't know what it is about men today want to get into the ring and want to box. When they were very well, if you was in baseball, stay in baseball. And if you were in the octagon, just because you was in the octagon, you learned a little bit about boxing. Keep your ass out of the boxing ring against these people who know how to box. I said it again. Jake Paul was an amateur boxer, and he knocked Nate Robinson out on 3 different occasions. He knocked him down 3 different occasions. I mean, whooped his ever-loving ass. Now, I'm not laughing at him because I already knew what the result was going to be. Now, when you get Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson, 2 professionals in there, it's going to be a total different outcome. The same way if you put Jake Paul in the ring with Tyson or Jones Jr., it will be no comparison because there are levels to this. I hope everybody understand. I really truly do. I'll give you an example. It's like somebody, you can be a damn good street fighter. You can be a damn good street fighter, but don't get in the ring with Pastor Dowell. Don't do that. You're making a mistake. And even at that, I got enough sense. See, that's the part about that people need to have is sense. Stop thinking with testosterone, think with his head. Listen, did you see Mike Tyson and Jones Jr.? Mike Tyson is my age, 54 years old. Damn good shape. I'm in damn good shape for 54 years old. Barn, I get past this damn injury. I just hurt myself acting stupid trying to break dance. So it's telling me that I can't break dance. I've been to the chiropractor ever since. Anyway, body just don't twist like that no more. All right. I'm 54 years old. I'm a very powerful man. I can still bench press over 315. I can still do it. I haven't tested to see how far I can go, but I ain't trying to go that far because I have no need to go that far. But what I'm getting to is I got enough sense to look at a young man and listen to his mouth run and just say, man, you know what? This ain't even worth it. How many, if you go on YouTube, you seen it's a young black man. He's seen this old veteran. This old veteran was like 65 years old. Man, he was talking. It was on a bus somewhere in some big city. They was on a bus, and this black guy was talking mess, talking crap to the. I mean, he was getting his mouth. He was getting bold. And anyway, the old veteran said, "Come shine my shoes." All he was doing was toying around with his mind to get him more stir up. Because the one thing you don't do, if anybody ever learned anything about fighting, is you don't let your emotions and let anger overtake you and rule you, because that's a sure way to get your ass beat and sure way to get knocked out. And he got him stirred up, and the guy went over and approached him, and that Vietnam vet whooped his ass on that bus. Gave him an old-fashioned beat down. An old-fashioned beat down. 65 years old, young punk. Starting something. You know what I mean? I just don't get, people, I don't know what it is today. I do know one thing, that the foods are modifying a lot of people. They're modifying a hell of a lot of people. They really, truly are. But when people have disciplines and they can teach you disciplines, they can tell you what disciplines is. Listen, it's not about who can whoop who tail or who can do what or nothing like this. It's knowing how to stay in your own lane. Like I told Kabir, I I'll get in the ring with Mike Tyson for $10 million. I sure will. I'll get in there for $10 million. I'll get in there for $10 million and get my ass knocked out. That's exactly what I do. Give me my $10 million. But just to get in there and just to be fighting or sparring around with him, no, hell no. Let one of you young bucks who think you are full of testosterone, you think you get on in there and go do it. That's called having sense. You understand what I mean? That's literally called having sense. Anyway, it's unbelievable. It's unreal to me the way that this generation goes on, the way it thinks nowadays. I know one thing, with the advent of YouTube and the internet and Facebook and stuff, is trying to teach all you people out there something. Just because you got a big mouth that can run, that don't mean that your mouth can actually protect your ass from a beat down. It really truly don't. And a lot of people, they run their damn mouth all the time. They run it. And I've seen people, they literally get on internet steroids on social media just because they got a mouth to move. They think the internet is going to make people think that they can just talk to somebody any old kind of way that they want. I was in a meeting one time down in Texas. There was this guy, he's probably like 6'7", looked like he weighed about 340 pounds. I had like 200 people in the meeting, okay? At the time, I'm 5'11", 240, all right? And I'm trying to preach to the people. He just jumps up and starts interrupting. Mother Carol, come here for a second. He just jumps up in the meeting and starts interrupting. I said, sir, if you sit down, I will go ahead and answer your question when I open it up for questions and answer, or we can have a talk after this meeting. All right? Is that right?
Yes.
You remember him? And then he just jumps up and starts over talking, and he's sitting way over in the corner. He just kept on doing it. And I said, sir, listen to me. I tried to be tactful and respectful, did I not?
You did.
I got to the point after about the third time. I said, listen, if you don't sit down and shut up, I'm going to come back there and set you down and shut you up. You ain't going to do it. Is that about right?
Yes, sir.
Is that what he
did.
I know you ain't going to cuss him, but he went into it though, didn't he?
He did.
What did I do after he said that?
You started walking back there towards him, and he was trying to talk smack, but backing up and getting out the door.
You hear that? Did you hear that? He had some type of spirit on him that made him think. He must be used to talking to people like that out there on the street. But I ain't the one. I ain't the one, and probably there's a lot of other people out there ain't the one. That don't make me a Mr. Tough Guy. That will let you know that I will come and see about you. And there are a lot of people out there that will literally come see about you. See, I'm a man of few words. I try to always be respectful and honorable to everybody. But when you start dishonoring stuff, the next respect level you're going to get from me is you're going to get either knocked out, KO'd, or I'm going to break your arm and leg. And that's just a fact. That's just the way it's going to go down. Or either I'm going to get my arm or leg broke. But on one damn thing, you going to know that you don't ever want to cross this path and come down this path ever again. And that's what this generation has done. It's done lost all respect. Sure. It's done lost, there's no honor. They just say anything that they want to say. And say how they want to say it. It's got to be some type of mental defect. There's something going on. It's a screw loose in this damn generation. There's something wrong. Modified. GMO modified. Something modified. Something has got y'all crazy out here.
No governor on their thoughts.
No governor on their thoughts. That's true. You know, the book says, a fool uttereth all his mind. Just because you think something and just because you feel something, that don't mean that you go out there and put it out in the atmosphere and say any damn thing about it. Because somebody like me, that's got discernment, I know when the spirit is talking and you talking, and some of you are just fools, just literal fools. And what happened is with many of you, you let your mouth override and write a check that your ass couldn't cash. We need to learn this. Nate Robinson, all y'all players and you professional NBA players, keep your ass on the damn court. Go play pickup basketball and stay out of the damn boxing ring. You just got your butt whooped by an amateur, a YouTube amateur. Now, suppose if he try to equate that with Nate Robinson, professional basketball player, against a professional boxer.
That would have been bad.
I mean, I would have loved to see him against, I think Oscar De La Hoya is probably about maybe in his late 40s. Put Oscar De La Hoya or maybe Hugo Cesar Chavez, one of them little lightweights, put them in a ring with him. It would have been a total annihilation. And Chavez is probably in his 50s. Put him in a ring with Nate Robinson. See, all this trash talk has got to stop. Get some sense about yourself. See, I'm getting old. I carry firearms on me. I ain't about to expend all this energy fighting some young punk. When if I have to defend myself, I can just simply keep this in good working order. Keep that skill level up. Man, I hope I said something to try to stimulate thought and put some type of defibrillator on this young generation mind. Just because you think you bad don't mean you bad. There's always somebody badder than you.